Hello and welcome back to the Game School Dad channel with me, Martin, and today we are looking at colour challenges. We're on to the second colour challenge, which is the blue deck versus all the other colours. So let's get on with it. And here we go with the blue deck colour challenge. We're going to be first against the black starter deck. So in our blue starter deck, we have lots of flying creatures. And we have other creatures that boost our flying creatures. And we'll see what else comes up in the colour challenge. Let's see. Oh, drawing some more cards as well. So for blue, we have our island lands that are coming out. So we have a Cloudkin Seer, 3-mana creature that when it enters, we draw a card. We have a 3-mana creature here. Creatures with flying cost 1 less to cast. That's going to make our other creatures cost 2 instead of 3. And we have Windstorm Drake, 5 mana. Other creatures you control with flying get +1 to their attack, +0 to their toughness. So we could put out a Cloudkin Seer here, but we have 3 mana this turn. Next turn we're going to have 4 lands. So we could put out creatures cost 1 less to cast, which means next turn we could get out both of these Cloudkin Seers. Sometimes you want to get your creatures out quickly to do as much damage to your opponent before they can do damage to you. Plus drawing cards is also good. So let's get Cloudkin Seer out. We'll draw a card. And okay, we could put out another Cloudkin Seer here. Draw another card, get another creature out. Or we could put out this other Warden of Evos Isle, which will make our flying creatures even less to cast, which means the Cloudkin Seers are only going to cost us 1 mana each. So I'm going to do that. Let's reduce the cost as much as we can. He doesn't have any creatures with flying or reach, so our flying creature can fly all the way over the top of his horrible looking goblin creatures here and do 2 damage to him. Now they can do damage to us if they attack and we don't block. But let's see if we can race the opponent here, do more damage to them before they can do more damage to us. So we've got 18 hit points for them, 17 for us. Let's see, we've got 5 mana, which means we can put out Cloudkin Seer just for 1. We can put out another Cloudkin Seer for 1. Now we have, we could put out another one, but we've got 3 lands left and I want to use up everything we can, so I'm going to put out a Windstorm Drake, which will give our other flying creatures +1 to their attack. So we can attack with these 3 that were out earlier, not the 2 that entered this turn. But there we go, we're doing 9 damage with that attack of those 3 creatures, which means next turn we have a whole lot of damage to do to him before he can do much damage to us at all. So let's put out a land. We're going to put out our Windstorm Drake. In fact, maybe I'll put out the Cloudkin Seer first. Draw a card, see what I get. I get an Unsummon. Okay, so I can return target creature to its owner's hand. I could return one of my Cloudkin Seers, play it again, draw another card if I really wanted to draw more cards. But because I know I can win this turn, I'm just going to put out my other Drake, make these creatures all really big, and attack with everything because they're all flying. He doesn't have flying or reach, he can't deal with any of that. He can fly right over them and defeat the black deck. There you go. Okay. So, blue versus black. And next we have blue versus green. Okay. Let's be careful because the green deck specifically has creatures with reach. So we'll have to figure out a way to get past the spiders with reach. I have a feeling Unsummon might be involved. So we have our island and our first creature, 1 mana, Wall of Runes, a defender so it can't attack. When it enters the battlefield, scry 1. So we're going to get to look at the top of our library. Do we want another island, another land, or do we want to put that at the bottom of our library? Well, we've got, have a look at the battlefield, we've got 3 more lands here, which means we're going to have 4 out. Our creatures only cost up to 3 at the moment. I feel like having an extra creature, or a chance at an extra creature, is probably better than having another island. So we're going to put that at the bottom, which means hopefully on our next turn we'll draw something other than a land. Okay, right, so we have creature spells with flying, cost 1 less to cast. Perfect. There's the Warden again. We're going to use that because we're still drawing enough lands. We don't need any more lands. We could put out a Cloud Conceer and use up our 3 mana there, or we could do the same thing we did last time. Use up our 3 mana to cast the Warden, which means our Cloud Conceers only cost 2 each, while he's putting out all these little plant creatures. So more land, and let's put out Cloud Conceer, draw a card. We have a nice big Sea Serpent there. Let's put out our other Cloud Conceer, draw another card, and we have an unsummon. Okay, these creatures don't have reach or flying, so we can attack with our Warden. And now we have a 4/4 spider with reach. And they have another creature here with vigilance. Okay, so we're attacking with a 1/1 plant. Now we could block with the Cloud Conceers to kill his creature, but we're going to be left with a dead creature of our own. If we block with a Wall of Runes, with 4 toughness, we can block the damage. Doesn't kill his creature, but it doesn't lose us a creature either. Alright, so I want to attack with my flying creatures, but this spider has reach, and it will just kill our creatures. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack, and before we give them a chance to block, we're going to send that spider back to his hand. And see, no one can block now, and we'll do some damage. And end the turn. So we can play out the spider again, but lucky for us we have another unsummon, so we can do the same trick again. And he's attacking with all these creatures. So let's block the one that does the most damage. Let the 3 damage from the plants go through. Not really too bothered about that because we're going to do more damage to them. Right, so 4, 5, 6. What we could do is we have all these lands that we haven't used yet. It's the end of the opponent's turn. It's going to be our turn next. We could actually send the spider back to his hand now, and then start our turn, all our lands untap, put out an island, and now we have 6 mana available to put out a Sea Serpent. A 4/6, and for 7 mana it can't be blocked this turn. I can't block our flying creatures, we're going to attack with them again. Down to 6 hit points. And there comes the spider. Right, our turn. We have lands. We have too many lands, we don't have any spells. So, we can attack with everything. If we attack with everything, something will block the Sea Serpent. The spider will block one of these creatures, and we'll get 4 damage to go through. Now, we could probably still win, as long as it doesn't have another spider by doing that, but we have 7 mana, and this Sea Serpent has the ability for 7 mana that it can't be blocked this turn. So, we might as well just activate that now, and let's just attack with everything. So the Sea Serpent can't be blocked. We're going to do 4 damage. We just need 2 more damage to get through, and at best the spider can only block one of these. So we're going to do at least 8 damage. Or we're going to do exactly 8 damage in this case, which is enough to win. So Unsummon helps to remove the creatures that are a problem for us. The ones that can block our creatures or kill our creatures. We can use instants like that to surprise the opponent and take those things out of the way. Alright, so now we're going to be against white. So we know how the white deck works because we played the white deck already, if you're doing these in order. And the white deck works on gaining life and adding counters onto the creatures, onto the priests. They gain counters whenever you gain life. So we'll watch out for that. We also know they have fencing aces that do double strike, and moorland inquisitors that can give themselves double strike with an ability. So, we know some things we're up against here. Okay, a creature we can put out, Waterkin Shaman. Whenever a creature with flying enters the battlefield, this creature will get +1/+1 until the end of turn. So not forever, but just till end of turn. Right, so let's put our island. So we could attack with this. If we attack with this, and give it +1. It can be blocked by the fencing ace. The fencing ace will kill the shaman. The shaman will kill the fencing ace. It's kind of okay. I don't really want to lose my creature. I think I'm going to play out the Cloudkin Seer, and in this case, I think I'm not going to attack. There's different ways you could play this in a normal match. For the colour challenge, I don't know if it's trying to give us a certain right answer, but he's going to attack us for 6 damage now because it's a 3/3 double strike, which is not ideal. So 4 lands out, we can attack, and we have 2 unsummons, so we're ready to unsummon his fencing ace when he attacks if he wants to try to do another 6 damage to us next turn. Pacifism, okay. So this Cloudkin Seer can't attack or block. We have another fencing ace that can't attack this turn because it's just come out. So he's going to attack. We can unsummon the fencing ace, puts that back into his hand, and the aura he attached goes to the graveyard. So what can we do here? We could unsummon our Cloudkin Seer. We could bring it back to our hand. The pacifism goes away, and we can play it again to draw an extra card, and we have an unsummon as well, which is great because I'm going to unsummon this fencing ace now, get him out of the way, and attack for 3 damage with our little creature down here. Now this one doesn't have flying, so we have to get rid of the fencing aces somehow in order to get our damage through. He's done the same thing, 3/3 double strike. Now, see, what we could have done is we could have waited for them to do the same thing again and then unsummon the creature. But, oh, look at this. When the Riddlemaster Sphinx enters the battlefield, you may return target creature an opponent controls to his owner's hand. So it's a 5/5 creature that has an unsummon ability built into it. Do we want to return target creature to the owner's hand? Yes, we do. Let's send him back. The other enchantment goes over there. We get to do our damage. And it's not able to enchant and boost his own creatures because we keep sending them back. Okay, pacifism again. Alright, 2 fencing aces. So, think about our land. We can put out a Cloudkin Seer and see what we draw. What do we get? Hopefully something useful against these. Oh, another Cloudkin Seer. Okay, lots of flying creatures then. Okay, so we could attack with the Shaman here, the Cloudkin Seer. If we do, he can block us with both. They'll do 2 damage as first strike damage and 2 more damage afterwards. So it will kill our creature, but he'll lose both of his. So actually, I think I'll make that trade. Let's attack. He can block with both if he likes, because we're going to manage to kill his 2 creatures, sacrifice our own, but we've killed 2 of his creatures for 1 of ours, which is a pretty good trade. And he's got nothing left to defend anyway, and they're flying, and the Windstorm Drake is going to give them all +1 damage. So we can attack with our Cloudkin Seers without any defenders. So there you go, more unsummon action, getting rid of the opponent's creatures, especially after they enchant them, so it means those enchantments get wasted. Alright, so next, blue against red. So the red deck's full of goblins, lots of little creatures that are going to attack. We don't really want to unsummon them because they're so cheap to play out again that it's not going to be very effective against them. But we'll see what we get. Okay, island. What do we have here? Instant. Target creature gets +3 and hexproof till end of turn. Okay, well, there goes our creature first. What are they going to do? They're going to attack. We could block, but this Tin Street Cadet, if it gets blocked, creates another 1/1 goblin, so it kind of replaces itself. So I don't want to lose my creature for that sake. I'm actually going to rather have my creature out there doing 2 damage to him while he does 1 damage to me. So if we're racing the opponent, we want to do obviously more damage to them before they can do that amount of damage to us. We have a Spell Gorger. Weird. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on this 2/2. Okay. So, do we want to block? I'm just going to take the damage. That's fine. And again, we've got one land left, and we have an unsummon. We could take this creature out of the way, which I feel like is a good use of our mana. So let's take this creature out of the way. So we've got 4 mana left here. So we would have had enough either way to play a Cloudkin Seer and unsummon the other creature, which works out pretty well. So he can't defend because his Tin Street Cadet is tapped. So that's another 6 damage to them. Play out the Spell Gorger again. Take the 1 damage again. I don't want to lose my creature. So I have 5 mana. I can use Glint if I really want to, but I'm going to ignore the Spell Gorger for now. I'm just going to give other flying creature +1. I could attack with everything. He's probably going to lose the Spell Gorger, depending on what other spells he might have. I think for now I'm just going to attack with Cloudkin Seer, take it slow and cautious. There's another Spell Gorger. If he uses it to attack, then he won't have blockers, so he won't be able to use it to attack. And let's go, just for the fun of it, let's attack with everything. So we're going to do 6 damage in the air. So we only need 3 more damage to get through. One of those would be good. Let's see what happens. See if he wants to block. He's only blocked that one, which is fine. I can even give my creature +0/+3 if I want to, which means I'm not even going to lose this creature. He'll just lose his Tin Street Cadet. I'm doing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage to his 9 hit points. Nothing else will give me a boost right now, so let's just do that damage, end my turn, and save this Glint and unsummon if I need it. Okay, he's put +1 counters on his weirds by casting a shock on my creature. If I give my creature hexproof first, then the shock won't be able to resolve, won't do any damage to me. Keeps my creatures alive. Unless he has another one. Okay. He's going to gain control of this creature. Do I want him to? Untap it, it gains haste. So, let's just see what happens here. So he's got 4 damage on those, 3 damage there. He's taking another one. Interesting. So, let's see. He's going to do 15 damage if he attacks like that. Now I could just let that go, because to be honest, I'm still going to be alive. But just because I have an unsummon here, I'm going to send one of those Spell Gorgers back to him. Which removes those counters as well, because they're only on the creature, as long as it's on the battlefield. Have another Cloudkin Seer. Boost these creatures, draw a card, play our land, not that it matters, because we're going to kill them this turn anyway. So there we go, unsummoning creatures that have counters on them. And again, going over with flying. So that is the blue deck versus the red deck. Alright, and here we are. That's all 4 of them against the black, the green, the white, and the red. That's all the colour challenge matches for the blue deck. So next time we'll move on to our next colour challenge. But for now, leave any comments below if you ever got stuck on this one, or if you have any other comments for me for the video, and I'll see you in the next one.